It's been a busy day out for you in the West. Earlier, you were speaking to the chair of that committee, and he is happy with the level of discussion that's taking place. Talk to us about what exactly did people raise today?
I think we saw a lot of robust debating today. In fact, people came in their numbers to have their voices counted and their voices heard towards this debate around expropriation of land without compensation. Now, the hearings kicked off at around 11 a.m. and the committee was very strict on time and ensured that the hearings ended at around 4. Now, from 11 until 4, we heard from a variety of people saying, one woman in particular spoke about how she feels like a street kid on the land of her birth, and how her children are eventually also going to be street kids when she has to depart and she doesn't have land that she can leave them. We heard other views contrasting that, saying expropriation of land without compensation is theft, in fact, and it would have dire consequences for the country. We also heard about one woman spoke about how the youth is leaving the country because not only do they not have opportunities, but they don't have anything that they can really call their own. So a variety of views, and the committee was really listening and engaging them. There was also a warning before from the co-chair Vincent Smith that the debate around this expropriation of land without compensation, the hearings must not be disrupted. So people need to be they need to be able to understand other people's views and be able to listen to them without heckling them, without disrupting them, because if that happens, then the views of the West Rand would not be counted in its final report.
Let's talk about the question of venues. And of course, you had two issues today.
Yes.
One was the announcement of a different venue to where the actual hearings were being held. And the other is the issue of space. How is Parliament trying to resolve both those issues?
Yeah, Parliament has really recognized that. I think they made an error towards the planning of these hearings and finding the venues. They didn't find the correct ones. In fact, with this particular hearings in the West Rand, there was now a false communication or a false notice that was going around on social media that said that the hearing was going to be held at a stadium. I think it was Green Hill Stadium rather than that Western Area Civic Centre. That was not the venue for the hearings, and the committee has really come out to condemn those kind of false notices, because they're saying this is derailing the work of Parliament, and clearly there is a third force that's trying to stop these hearings from taking place. But looking at the numbers of the people that actually came today, that notice really failed in its attempt, because the hall was packed to its fullest capacity. There were people outside. In fact, they had to put speakers outside so that people could be able to hear what was being said inside as well as participate.
And of course, lots of people want to know that they have engaged with this process and that their voices have been heard. Is the Gauteng leg of these hearings and those officials, are they considering getting bigger venues like we've seen in the Eastern Cape?
At this stage, according to the co-chair Vincent Smith, they're saying that they really don't want to even try and move the venues, because they would then once again be accused of also trying to sabotage the process by trying to change the venues at the last minute. So they've taken a decision to stick to the venues that have been put in place, and they'll just have to make contingency plans like how they did today to accommodate the masses that will be coming to these hearings.
But surely those people who are outside, do they get an opportunity to say what they want to say, or how do they try and manage those numbers?
So what happened today was that once you said your piece, and everybody had 3 minutes, no more, no less, to get to the point and say what you wanted to say. Once you said your piece, they were kindly asked to leave the hall in order to make sure that others could come in and say their piece. So towards the end of the day, that process really happened quite with no disruptions. People really heeded the calls from the committee, and today was quite a successful day, I think, for the committee.
Well, certainly one gets the sense that they should have allocated more time for these hearings, given it's such a personal matter for all South Africans involved.
They've admitted it. The committee has admitted that they've really made a grave error when it comes to judging the interest and the participation that South Africans really want to have in this process. People have a real emotional attachment to the land issue, and they really want to be heard. And I think these hearings are showing exactly that.
All right.